At this point, this is where we see John Stewart actually get kidnapped by Anton, and Anton has a very interesting discussion with John Stewart. And at this point, we learn about the Manhunters. We learn that a lot of Anton's people were actually slaughtered by this Manhunter. And for those of you who don't know, the Manhunters were essentially the Green Lanterns before the Green Lanterns existed. They were created to be the first peacekeepers by the Guardians, and in some iterations, they turn evil. In some iterations, they just do things a lot more violently than the Guardians want, or in other iterations, they just get cast aside in favor of the Green Lanterns and then carry this vendetta against the Guardians. And we actually learn that a Manhunter was brought to Earth many years ago. And this could actually be a contributing factor as to why the Guardians didn't want any Green Lanterns on Earth. Maybe they knew about the fact that there was a Manhunter here, and maybe this actually has something to do with what happened to Abin Sur and how he was inevitably killed. And now Anton and his men make it very clear that their target is this Manhunter, and they are seeking revenge. And in my opinion, I feel like a lot of this is just pointing to the fact that Anton may very well be Atrocitus. And if that is the case, and this is just a method for Atrocitus to gain revenge upon this Manhunter, I feel like that would be a really cool tie-in. And I feel like it would just, like I mentioned a little bit earlier, expand the lore of the DC universe even more. We also learn a little bit more about the Manhunters in this moment, and we actually learn that they are more of a humanoid version of the Manhunters, able to actually turn into humans and mimic them completely. And now this is seemingly like how the Manhunters were portrayed in DC's Millennium crossover comics, where the Manhunters were a more humanoid, organic form versus the traditional version of them that shows them as more robotic beings, like in the Justice League animated series cartoon, where those are very clearly robots. This is definitely adapting more closely to them actually being organic humanoid beings. And I feel like this version of them is definitely more fitting for this specific story because it is going to allow them to blend in a lot better.